You know what? The two of you are one and the same. You're one and the same. Jen and Mary, two just as loose as a Christmas goose. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is episode 5 of season 1. That Mary and that Jen, they one and the same. They one and the same. I'm gonna get to it in a minute. One of them is black. One of them ain't black. But they both want to be black when it's convenient for. Well, I don't know if Mary even realizes she's black. I got an issue with both of them, so we just gonna do it. We just gonna have a drag session. So let's get ready, child. Listen, what is this mess? When Jen, she comes back in, they go talk her into coming back in. She come back in and say, "We're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk about it." All this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with this luncheon, this swanky luncheon. Y'all going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then just people just want to win. So Mary going to say, well, to about them old men that were standing around watching, they're going to say, they're offended. That's the girl you throw in the kitchen sink just to try to be right. The whole thing is, girl, she issued out an apology. You wanted an apology because you want what we've seen, Mary. You like to have people kiss your ass. Is what it is. You really do. You like to do things and say whatever you want and have people kiss your ass to get along with you. Don't nobody care nothing about that. And Jen is used to people kissing her ass. And she does bad behavior and they're all scared of her. So they kiss her ass. So now we got a problem because we got two nothing ass whores over here wanting to have their ass kissed. Ain't neither one of y'all that important. For real, for real. Y'all both perpetrating a fraud. Both of you. Anyway, said that the man was offended. Them men, them corpses standing upside that wall, they didn't even remember really what they was there for. And they was just standing there looking like, you rang. Dumb as shit. I laughed so hard. Then they going. And then Jen goes back and says, well, what about when you were at my house and you said that if you pull up to the 7-Eleven and there are blacks there, that you could just go to a whole different store? Come again? And she said, you're black, Mary, you're black. And she called her a hoodlum. She's like, I wouldn't use that type of terminology. Hoodlum, I wouldn't say that. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Why is it that I don't believe you? I believe it depends on what crowd you were in. If you were in that crowd and Mary wasn't there, I think you might use that word. Because you only want to be black when it's convenient for you, Jen. Now, other people were trying to drag me in my comments and telling me she is a brown girl because there are Hawaiians and Asians that do consider themselves brown girl. I don't give a damn what you all say. That's fine. All of that's fine. I'm not taking that away. So we have some Asians or Hawaiian folk or Filipino folk or whatever nationality they are, melanated folks as well, but they call themselves brown girls. That's fine. That's fine. But what she's not black. And that's what I said, and I'm going to keep saying it until we're done. And this isn't on the air anymore. Jen is not black. Her husband is black. Her children are black. She is whatever she is. She's not black. She doesn't have any African American blood in her. She's not black. You are whatever you are. Whatever your nationality is, that's what you are. But you are not black. Period. And you're not going to get to be black when you think it's convenient to be black. Like right now, you thought it was convenient to be black because you're going to try to drag Mary because Mary don't want to be black. both of y'all. Fuck both of y'all. That's how I feel. That is my feelings toward both of them in that moment. Ridiculous. One and the same. Y'all both got the same colorist issues. And y'all are both irritating as hell. And it's just ridiculous. And then as we moved on, there was a scene where the two of them are on the phone. Both Jen's talking to her husband and Mary's talking to her husband. And both of these whores is doing the exact same thing. They both have become the victim when neither one is a victim. Neither one's a victim at this point. Originally, what Mary said about hospital, smelling like hospital, that was off the chain. That was wrong. But okay, y'all squashed it. When you started back up again, you then became not the victim anymore, Jen. And you call her a grandfather motherfucker. That you weren't the victim anymore. Now you started that. Because you were in there showing out on her. After y'all had already squashed it and it was supposed to be water under the bridge. Y'all are the same. Both of you. And y'all were doing it to y'all's husbands. And what y'all did to y'all's husbands was very unfair. Because both husbands are not knowing the whole story and feeling as though their wives are being victimized. And they don't appreciate it. And they were upsetting those men. And it was ridiculous. And it all was overly emotional. All that fake crying that the two of y'all were doing was ridiculous. Y'all misled them. Misled them into going into protective mode when you don't need to be protected. Y'all both need your asses whooped. Acting like children. And carrying on. It was ridiculous. Then it was like weird because Sharif was being like, oh, you know, he's all in his protection mode. And Mary's whole thing, her whole situation is weird and off the chain. Where it seemed like she was like, I'm going to tell on you. To that old bastard that she's married to. Dare I say your situation, your setup is creepy. It felt like you was telling on her. I'm talking my paw on you. Because that's what he is. He's your paw. Not Poppy, but paw. Trifling. That's trifling. And anyway, let's go on. Brooks and Meredith. Meredith, why do you even want to be on screen? It is ridiculous. Brooks talks to Meredith, like she is a kindergartner. And he literally checks her and stops what he's doing. So, well, she kind of apologized. Did she apologize or didn't she? Miss Brooks, you're a bit much, sis. You're a bit much. And Meredith, you're ridiculous, allowing him to even carry on the way he does. He's much, and you really are girl, you got some issues. And they came up later on. I'm going to talk about you again in a minute. Just hold on, girl. I'm going to get to you in a second. Heather and her daughters, girl. Now, the daughters are uncomfortable about their whole position with the Mormon church now. And this is just to show you how screwed up what y'all got going on is. Those girls don't want to go back to the church because they're afraid of sitting in judgment. They don't want to be in the judgment. And that's horrible. That you will run away from a relationship with the Lord all because the parents have done something that the church deems to be not right, and so they shading the kids. Girl, y'all got a lot going on, and it ain't what we all got going on. There's a lot going on over there that y'all need to get that together and get. I ain't trying to come for the Mormon faith, honey, but anytime you're running people away from a relationship, it's wrong. I don't give a damn what you say. It's wrong. Anything that runs you away from a spiritual relationship is wrong. Everybody on the planet should be open to be able to have whatever relationship that they want. And there should be no other human being standing in the way of that. And when it happens, it is wrong. It is wrong. Whatever religion you choose, I ain't gonna say which one is right. But they all right. If that's what you believe in, it's all right. Fine. But for someone to stand in the way of it, that's wrong. That is wrong. And you will pay in the end. Like everything else. You pay on the front end, or you're going to pay on the back end. So just continue doing what you're doing. Anyway, moving on. I don't want to get too deep into it. Moving on. Seth and Meredith. Now you're playing this game, Meredith, of, you want to date him. Y'all are like dating, and like we're going to try to fix what we got going on. The shit's broken. Shit's over. And then later on in the program, we seen this scene, like the broken heart. I already told you I like Seth. Seth is so very likable. Meredith is a punk. She's a punk, okay? Because, one, we already see how Brooke talks to her, like she's the child, and he's the mother, okay? And then you won't just tell Seth that you don't want to be with him. Just tell him. It's over. She wants out of that marriage, but she don't want to say it out of her mouth. He's bending over backwards, trying to accommodate her. Now he wants her to move, and she don't want to move. I get it. I get it. But there's more issues other than that. Okay? That ain't the deal breaker. The breaker is that the shit is over. The shit is dissolved. That marriage is no more. And he loves her. You can see it. It was so heartbreaking. He loves her. That's what I said, 25 years. He don't want to let it go. He don't want to let her go. But she don't want him. She does not want him. And I just felt so bad for him. He was crying his little heart out. That was the worst. That was the worst. I said, girl, and you're such a punk, Meredith, that you won't just speak it and let it be done with. You would prefer to just drag him along. That's where problems start. That's a problem. The shit's over. He need to let it go, and you need to be willing to tell him he needs to let it go. What are you hanging on for? You a punk. Because you don't want him. She had no emotion at all. It was like, oh, I love you. I still love you. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're saying things that you think you're supposed to say. What you need to say is, baby, it's over. Let's stop dragging each other through this bullshit. This shit's over with. It really is. The kids is too damn old. What you hanging together for? He loves you. You ain't hanging on for your kids. Your kids is grown. What you hanging on for? Money? You got your own money. You hanging on because you too much of a punk to say that it's over. So what is it? I think we need some space. Some space. I'll give you some space, all right, but there'll be paperwork attached to it anyway. Moving on. I said these marriages is a mess. I said, child, this is a mess. Anyway. Whitney and her brother. She's tossing them around. A big old dude tossing them around like a rag doll. I said, you better go ahead, Miss Whitney, honey. I said, y'all better quit messing with Whitney. Whitney be to tore one of y'all up, honey. Y'all see her tossing them around? But anyway, she's trying to pull her family together because the father got 2 kids from one marriage and then some more kids from another marriage, and everything's in shambles, and his drug addiction has really just his actions have separated up everybody. The children and you know, it's all a mess. But she's trying to pull everybody back together as a whole to help with supporting him, because they'd pretty, you know, most of the kids are like pretty done with him. And then the thing is, here he been out of rehab for 6 weeks. He was living in assisted living, like sober living, and he been out for 6 weeks, and now he's going back. But it's becoming a hardship because the financial part is actually on Whitney. Ain't nobody helping her. So her husband's taking care of it, because he done messed up all his money and everything. So it's all on her. And then dealing with him emotionally as well. She needs some help. She needs some help. But It's interesting. I don't know where you go with that. You know what I mean? That's a rough place to be. But they went on back. Child, his hair is a mess. That's the first thing. He might feel better about himself if he get that hair fixed. Anyway, I was giving him a pass. I was, felt sorry for him, so I was giving him a pass going in the beginning episodes. But girl, if you do something with that hair, honey, you might feel better about yourself. You sitting up here looking like a male version of Joan Jett, honey, and the Heartbreakers. Girl, no ma'am. Anyway, and Whitney, your confessional look is horrible. Such a pretty girl, but that confessional look is horrible. Your forehead, no, Miss Ma'am, no. That forehead is giving somebody's uncle. All this back hair and all that's squared off, boxed off. That was giving you rang. That was a bad look. That was not a good look at all. Don't do that anymore. You're way too pretty for that. You just need your bangs or something sweet, a little swoop or something. You girl, don't ever expose your hairline again, ever. Anyway, Lisa. Really? Kids don't even know you, girl. You're ridiculous. I seen that little 8-year-old. He is you. All wiry and wired up and out of order. I looked at him, I said, little 8-year-old. He was wiry, wired up, and out of order. Running around that party like a wild dog. And then I hate forced scenes and forced shots with children on reality. He don't even know you. He don't even know you. And it showed. And then she said out of her mouth, oh, it's his birthday. I wanted to do something nice, to give him a party. That's the one day that you have mommy's full attention. The one day that you have mommy's full attention. Bitch, bye. And this showed when you trying to have the same with him, he was looking off in the glare because he all wired up. He don't know you and you don't know him. Honey, and I'm just looking at the father, and I looked at that, and then they was having some little chit-chat. I said, this is another disjointed marriage. The marriages are a mess. Y'all just together just to say y'all together. Horrible. Moving on. Anyway, child, I love these people. These people they're whack jobs. They really got some issues going on. This is fun, this one here. I said, child, y'all mess, y'all got real problems. Anyway, moving on. Mary and Heather, they had a little conversation. Remember, she called Heather two-faced. When she was trying to get at Jen, she attacked Heather, told her she was two-faced. But Heather is one of the first times that I've actually seen where people are actually trying to solve a problem and literally staying even skilled with it. Let me go back to Heather and her kids real fast. That oldest daughter, girl, she hot as a firecracker. You better slow it down, ma'am. She ain't got that Mormon shit you had going on when you was young, and now you said you didn't do any of the wild thing. That daughter of yours is hot as a firecracker, honey. That little boyfriend pulled up, honey. She got all excited and ran the door, jumped all up on him like they were at their own house. I said, oh no, ma'am. I wish I would have a teenage daughter jumping all up on some male. Crap. Get down on for him. Instead of it, we'll talk about the last boyfriend. How young? What she said she's 16. To take me over his house. We used to watch TV and make out. Now see, and that just made my radar go up because making out to some people involves everything except for penetration, and sometimes it involves penetration, just not in her VJJ, honey. Sometimes all that is up underneath. Making out. Oh, I'm a virgin. But meanwhile, somebody been tearing your booty hole up, honey. Oh, I'm a virgin. You're a virgin up there, up in the front. But the back been rode all the way out, honey, like a highway. What? Did somebody say something? I'm a virgin. Meanwhile, your throat got 750 miles of bad land on it, honey. Don't get me started. See, I'm going too far. Anyway, moving on. Girl, but your daughter's hot as a firecracker. I said, Not a good look. Moving on. I'm leave that alone. I won't tear the kids up, honey. But she's a little too hot for me. And it was allowed. No, I don't think so. Anyway, but they're sitting there talking, Heather and Mary. And she truly isn't taking sides. So that was amazing to see. She really is trying to be friends with both people, not violate neither one's trust, and trying to bring peace to the group. And Mary went into this whole, again, now you're crying and being divisive, honey. She wants the beef. She doesn't want the beef to end with Jen. She wants the storyline. She wants the beef. She wants the issues with Jen. And when she sat there and said that she was 2 years before she actually married that man because she didn't really want to do it. And then when she told her, but look at my life. Yeah, look at your life. It's a damn mess. It's all a lie. We looked at your life. I've been looking at your life for the last 5 weeks. It's all a lie. You're married to your grandfather. You're married to Paw. And just the fact that y'all aren't blood, which means it's not incest, so it's not against the law, but it looks bad. It looks bad. I don't give a damn how you chop it up. It looks bad to know that his penis has been in your grandmother's vagina, and you're taking it however often you're taking it. And then you have the nerve to even bring a child. You had a child by a man who was screwing your grandmother. How couldn't you feel bad about yourself? How could you look at yourself in the mirror and not realize that you're whether it be against the law or not? It's against everything that looks to be decent. You're fucking grandma's man, honey. Period. I wouldn't give a damn if grandma was all right with it, because grandma was fucked up. And then you sitting out here lying to us about the boy. You didn't have that damn baby, and you lying to us about the boy. Yeah, look at your life, honey. You'll get your wish. We're going to continue to look at your life. It's a mess, honey. We're enjoying it. I'll see y'all next week.